Right now, millions of Americans who depend on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and other fixed income benefits are wondering if they will ever see that $2,000 payment the president has been talking about. If you are one of the millions of seniors or disabled Americans living on a fixed income and struggling to pay your bills every single month, I want you to know that I understand how hard things have been for you. The cost of groceries has gone through the roof. Your rent or mortgage payment keeps climbing higher and higher. Your utility bills seem to get more expensive every single month. And yet, your Social Security check stays pretty much the same while everything around you keeps getting more expensive. It feels like you are being squeezed from every direction and there is no relief in sight. That is exactly why this potential $2,000 payment means so much to so many people just like you. I have been getting messages and comments from so many of you telling me that you are barely hanging on right now. Some of you have told me that you have had to choose between buying your prescription medications or putting food on the table. Others have shared that you are behind on your electric bill and worried about having your power shut off. Many of you have said that you have not been able to afford to see a doctor or dentist in years because you simply cannot afford the copays and out-of-pocket costs. My heart goes out to every single one of you because I know how incredibly difficult it is to live on a fixed income in today's economy. You worked hard your entire life. You paid into the system for decades, and now you deserve to live with dignity and security in your retirement years. That is exactly why I follow this $2,000 payment situation so closely and bring you every single update as soon as I have new information. Now, there has been a lot of concern recently about what might happen if the Supreme Court strikes down the tariffs that the administration has been using to generate revenue. Many of you have reached out to me worried that if the tariffs get struck down, the $2,000 payment will never happen. I completely understand that fear, and I want to address it directly in this video, because I know how much anxiety this is causing for people who are counting on this money. The truth is, even if the Supreme Court rules against the current tariffs, it does not mean the $2,000 payment is dead and gone forever. There are backup plans in place, and the administration has made it clear that they are committed to making this payment happen one way or another. The White House economic advisor recently gave an interview where he explained exactly what would happen if the Supreme Court strikes down the current tariffs. According to what he said, the president has the authority to immediately implement a 10% tariff across the board to replace the revenue that would be lost. This could be done very quickly without needing approval from Congress or anyone else. On top of that, there are additional legal authorities known as the 301 Authority and the 232 Authority that could be used to generate even more revenue to replace what might be struck down by the Supreme Court. What this means for you is that even in a worst-case scenario where the Supreme Court rules against the current tariffs, the money can still be collected through these alternative methods. I want you to understand something very important right now. The president has been talking about this $2,000 payment since November of last year. He made a public statement saying that a dividend of at least $2,000 per person would be paid to middle and low-income Americans. He specifically said that high-income people and rich people would not be included in this payment. This is meant to help people who are struggling, people who are living on Social Security, people who are on disability benefits, people who are trying to make ends meet on a fixed income. In other words, this payment is designed for people exactly like you. Now, I know that promises from politicians do not always come true, and I would never tell you that this payment is guaranteed because nobody can make that promise right now. What I can tell you is that the president and his administration continue to talk about this payment regularly. The Treasury Secretary has spoken about it multiple times. The White House economic advisor has discussed it in interviews. Other officials and lawmakers have weighed in on it as well. All of this suggests that the administration is serious about making this happen, even if we do not have an exact date or final details yet. The Treasury Secretary has also addressed concerns about what would happen if refunds need to be issued because of a Supreme Court ruling. He said that the Treasury has plenty of money available to handle any refunds that might be required. While this might seem like it could delay things or create complications, the important thing to understand is that the government says it has the resources to handle whatever happens. Whether the Supreme Court upholds the tariffs or strikes them down, the administration appears to be prepared to move forward with their plans. For those of you who have been following my channel for a while, you know that I have been covering this story since the very beginning. I have shared video clips of the president talking about this payment. I have shown you interviews with the Treasury Secretary and the White House economic advisor. I have broken down every announcement and every development as it happened. I do this because I know how important this information is to you. When you are living on $1,200 a month or $1,500 a month from Social Security, an extra $2,000 could be life-changing. That money could help you catch up on bills you have fallen behind on. It could help you afford medications you have been skipping to save money. It could help you buy groceries without worrying about whether you will have enough to last until your next check arrives. I understand what that money means to you, and that is why I take this so seriously. We are still waiting for the official ruling from the Supreme Court on the tariffs. This announcement could come any day now, or it could still be weeks or even months away. Nobody knows exactly when the Supreme Court will issue their decision. What we do know is that whenever that decision comes, there will likely be some chaos and uncertainty in the short term. If the tariffs are upheld, things will continue as they are. If the tariffs are struck down, the administration will move quickly to implement alternative measures to keep the revenue flowing. Either way, the $2,000 payment is still on the table according to everything we have heard from the White House. The income threshold for who would receive this payment has not been officially announced yet, but based on what the Treasury Secretary said back in November, it appears that people earning $100,000 or less per year would qualify. Personally, I think the actual threshold might end up being lower than that, but we will have to wait for the official proposal to know for sure. What matters most for those of you on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI is that your income levels would almost certainly qualify you for this payment if it goes through as described. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, I really hope you will consider doing so right now. I work hard every single day to bring you the latest updates on Social Security, stimulus payments, and benefits news that affect seniors and disabled Americans. When you subscribe and turn on notifications, you will be the first to know whenever there is breaking news about this $2,000 payment or any other benefits that could help you. This channel is here specifically to help people like you who are living on fixed incomes and need reliable information about your benefits. I promise to keep fighting for you and bringing you the truth about what is happening with your Social Security and your potential payments. I know that waiting for news like this is incredibly stressful, especially when you are depending on this money to help you get through tough times. Please know that you are not alone in this. There are millions of Americans in the exact same situation, waiting and hoping and praying that this payment comes through. We are all in this together, and I will continue to be your voice and your source of information throughout this entire process. Whatever happens with the Supreme Court ruling, whatever happens with the tariffs, whatever happens with this $2,000 payment, I will be here to break it all down for you in plain and simple terms that are easy to understand. The bottom line is this: even if the Supreme Court strikes down the current tariffs, the administration has made it clear that they have backup plans to generate the revenue needed for these payments. The president has repeatedly stated his commitment to sending $2,000 to middle and low-income Americans. The Treasury Secretary has confirmed that the money is available. Multiple officials have spoken publicly about this plan moving forward. While nothing is guaranteed until it actually happens, there is reason to remain hopeful that this payment could still become a reality for millions of struggling Americans. I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of this community. Your comments, your messages, and your support mean the world to me. I read as many of your stories as I can, and they remind me every day why this work is so important. You deserve to have someone looking out for you and keeping you informed about the benefits and payments that could make a real difference in your life. That is exactly what I am here to do, and I will never stop fighting to bring you the information you need. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and know that better days may be coming soon. I will be back with more updates just as soon as we have new information to share.